Hey guys, it's Greg from Ramblings of the Drunk Dutchman, and I'm here after a week or so past the election, and everybody's had a chance to digest and figure out what they want with or how they uh, viewed the election. And I just wanted to make my point. Um, I will give a disclaimer that says I did not vote for either Harris or Trump. I basically threw my vote away by basically saying no confidence in either one of the top ones. But I did vote down the ballot to hopefully build people that were going to be able to keep whoever won in check. So that was my thought through the process. I just find it remarkable that the mainstream media people and the talking heads and the talk show people, is people like The View and Jimmy Kimmel and some of the other people, they just can't figure it out. I mean, they don't understand that what was voted was a basically a rebuke of what has happened in the past 4 years. The Democrats have basically reminded me of the cop in South Park where it's like nothing to see here. When you go to the grocery store, for example, the other day my wife went to the grocery store. It was normally what she would buy, and 4 years ago, that bag of groceries she brought home was $60. The last time she went, it was just over $100 for the same stuff. So you can't tell me that people aren't hurting that way. And you weren't listening because that's what they were telling you. So don't blame him, the misogynistic white man or the black man that didn't vote for him, or the uneducated white women that these people are screaming about. Or I don't agree with Bernie Sanders a lot on things, but when he said that the Democrats basically abandoned the people that they were trying to reach and went after the multimillionaires, which is another story because I don't understand why, if you're a multimillionaire, you would vote Democrat, because they're telling you point blank they want to reach in your pocket and give it to somebody else who wants to sit on their ass all day long. But that's another story for another day. Um, but I also agree with something that Biden said. And when he said you can't just love your country when you win, and you just can't love your neighbor because they agree with you. We all have our opinions. My opinion is, I hope for the best. My opinion was neither one of those candidates that were put up by the Republican and the Democratic parties were worth my vote. They didn't earn it. I don't believe Trump should have been there because of what happened on January 6th and his lack of discipline, if you will, or his lack of effort, or whatever you want to call it. And I know they're going to call it an insurrection, whatever. He didn't incite a riot. If you actually did the reading and looked up what he said in his speech, there's nothing in there that said that go down there and riot and tear the Capitol building apart. It was a bunch of outside people, because I have friends that were there. And they told me that, for the most part, 99% of the people were there to peacefully demonstrate and give their displeasure for the way that the election went. And you had some outside factors that came in that disrupted the whole thing, and that's what caused the problems, and things got spiraled out of control. Trump should have said something earlier instead of waiting 3.5 hours or whatever it was to quell that. So I don't think he should have been president because of that. He shouldn't have been eligible to run, because that's a very unprofessional and unpresidential type of thing. Kamala Harris wasn't worth it because she never spoke about what she was going to do. She never, told anybody what her plans were. They didn't do anything about the border. They didn't do anything to stop inflation. And I understand that there was the COVID and all that kind of stuff. And, people can rail about that all they want. But the point of the matter is that the the people that were running didn't treat her or coach her the proper way. Um, I'm just saying that, in my opinion, uh, nobody wanted her to run anyway, because otherwise she would have been on the ballot when she was trying to become the president in the first place, because she never even made it to the Iowa caucuses. And that just basically tells you what people have learned about her, and that she really didn't do a whole lot for, even though she was a prosecutor in California and an attorney general. Look what kind of a shit show California is. So, anyway, long story short, I didn't vote for either of them. I tried, like I said, to build the down ballot people to make it so that they would keep in check whoever did eventually win the election. In this case, it was Donald Trump, and he did so rather resoundingly, because of the fact that um, you know a lot of the people that didn't vote, the 12 million people that supposedly didn't vote this time, I think they voted for, like I did, people that were not at the top of the ticket, the primary tickets. And they just, threw their vote away and just said, you know what, I don't like what's going on. And I don't disagree with them, because I don't either. You can't tell me that in a nation where we've got a half a billion people living here, that we can't come up with two more better qualified candidates than the two that we're running. But that's water under the bridge now, and we have to deal with it. And I pray to God every night that he's not going to go off the rails, and I pray that the Democrats aren't going to come after him at every turn of every turn of the page that he does. Within all kinds of nonsense with bringing up impeachment things and all kinds of crap like that, because we don't need another 4 years of that. What we need 40 more years of people actually getting together, talking to each other, um, agreeing to disagree, if you will, whatever you want to call it. But the only way we're going to get our country back is if we all get together, we all stand together, and we let our voices known, because the preamble says that we, the people, for the people, and of the people. And that's what they've seemed to have forgotten. It's all about a money grab, a power grab, whatever you want to call it. It's not the way that the forefathers of our country expected the way it was going to turn out, because like I said, it's just gotten so out of control, and you can't trust any of the politicians, because none of them can hold their you can't hold them to task. I mean, we have no way of doing it other than voting them out, but for some reason we keep voting these idiots back in. And we need change. We need drastic change. And hopefully, if Trump can do what he says he's going to do, without getting off the rails, and I don't want to hear all about the 2025 project and all that kind of crap. And again, if you read it, 95% of that stuff is never going to happen, regardless of what side of the aisle they're on, because they're never going to be able to pass it through Congress or Senate to get with a majority to be able to make it, come to fruition. So, you can throw that out the window. But anyway, long story short, again, I hope you guys have gotten over it a little bit. Um, I pray that our country can come together, and that Trump does what he says he's going to do, and the people that have been voted down ballot can hold him to task to uphold the Constitution the way it is written, and not go crazy with the tweets. And if he would just do what he's hired to do, which is what he's the mandate from the majority of the people are, I think we'll be okay. We've been resilient. We've had bad presidents in the past, and we've managed to get through it. So I'm hoping that that's going to be the case again this time around. Anyway, thanks for listening. I hope you have a great day. God bless, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.